As far back as I can remember, I dreamt of a normal life. A life filled with normal things. A life where monsters don't live in closets or under the bed. A life where ghosts aren't real. I just wanted to be normal. But that didn't happen. It wasn't meant to be. Since my early 20s, I have experienced profound paranormal events that would change my life. Extreme poltergeist activity, living amongst those that have departed this earth in ways unimaginable. It has affected my loved ones and children with no end in sight. I could hear things, see things, and feel things not of this world. I asked myself if this was a gift or a curse. With the help of my mother and close friends, I emerged a paranormal investigator. Since 2013, I have been on a relentless journey to learn about the paranormal. This is my time to share my journey with you. Welcome to my Paranormal Soapbox. Hello, and welcome to my Paranormal Soapbox. I'm your friendly neighborhood ghost hunter, Justin Brown, and we are presenting episode 61 this evening, and we will be discussing our trip to the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. We got everybody from the Interface team on here tonight. We're going to do our best to reminisce on last weekend's activities and experiences, and we can't wait to share with you some of the weird things and the fun things, and maybe not so much of the fun things that we encountered this weekend. But collectively, we're going to do our best to let you know why we go through what we go through in the paranormal field, especially when it comes to the Battlefield Bash, and why it's so important that we attend that event specifically. It's a cool thing. So, Josh, we have Josh with Jessica, and we have Derek with Missy. We will do shout outs here in about 10-15 minutes. If you guys wanted to be shouted out, just at least comment hey or hi, start talking in the chat, and we'll shout you out. And if you're a first time viewer, please keep it classy. Don't troll. Try not to be, ridiculous in your comments. But we want you to, ask us questions, because it's rare that we have the whole team on. So I think we should begin by asking Josh to tell us why Gettysburg is important to him and what it means to him, and why he urged the group to participate in Pam and Steve's event. So Josh, do you want to, or would you start on that? Yeah, we'll just wait. I had to turn it on to see how everybody was going. I gotta go through here and make sure everybody's turned on. I didn't look at that before. So let us know in the chat if there's no sound, if it continues. Sorry, Josh, go ahead. If you would like. Yeah, they're saying they can't hear anybody. We'll keep it on the screen to see if they can hear anybody. I apologize for all the technical issues. Sometimes this happens and I don't know why. Everything looks fine and coming through on my end. I can't remember how I fixed it last time. And let me see if I can do something about it. Cannot remember how I fixed it last time. That might be a problem. So that NDI source looks correct. Yeah, we're talking about you guys on the call. Okay, properties. Let's see here. But we'll talk here. I want to see if I can hear you guys. Go ahead and talk, guys. See if I can hear it on the broadcast on this screen. Okay, no, I can't hear it. No, I can't hear it. Okay, let's see what we can do here. We're gonna take you guys away and add you back. Real quick. Now we're gonna add you back. So just stand by, guys. Sorry about this inconvenience. Jess and Josh. I think this is what I had to do last time. So this should fix everything. And shrink you down a little bit here. But you...
Josh said go to my paranormal reporters page. Funny.
Okay, and now we got to add Derek and Missy. Stand by. Derek and Missy. Okay, they should be coming in soon. Okay, you guys can begin talking again to see if we got you.
Check.
Test.
Hello.
Test.
Paranormal reporter said you got it.
Yeah, the sources must be broken for some reason. So, as soon as I
They're
get these...
haunted by Jess's mom.
That's a joke that probably won't go anytime soon.
Nope.
It was great.
I did talk to my mom about that, Justin.
Did she get a kick out of it?
Does she remember that?
She said that she'll get...
She'll get me next time? Okay. All right, guys, we should have it fixed. That's how I had to fix it last time. Josh, go ahead and repeat it a third damn time, would you? We were talking about, talk about why you suggested going, the history you have with Gettysburg, and then we'll collectively talk about why we think the cause is important. I think you're muted on this camera angle, dude, so I'm going to have to figure out that problem. Okay, so I want to add another NDI source on here, and we'll stand by. Yeah, I don't know why it does this. Don't know why at all. Audio only. Okay. All right, go ahead and talk and see if they can hear you now. And I'm going to have to go on their other end and probably add another NDI source for their end. So, Derek, talk, please.
Check,
Check.
check, check. Check, 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 check.
Okay.
Check.
There is so many things on my board now I can't even keep track. Okay, we're just gonna keep it on this screen. I might have to mute some people. I have to go through because there is an echo. I gotta mute some people. Derek, Missy, I'll probably have to mute there. So hopefully this fixes it, guys. Josh, go ahead and tell the story while we're on the screen, since everybody can hear you on the screen.
So just start over.
Yeah, sorry, man. There's no way I can.
Okay, so basically what I was saying was the Bash is in an awesome location. I've been there many times, but it never gets old. Very rich history. Very cool place to explore and just take the whole location in. As far as the Battlefield Bash, benefiting the Pennsylvania Wounded Warriors and also the Cancer Institution for Kids. And meeting, people that we saw last year, getting to hang out with them, and a lot of new people that we got to meet in person that we knew on Facebook before. So it was really cool to see everybody and talk paranormal with everybody.
Absolutely. Is everybody hearing fine? Is there an echo, a double audio source?
I have no complaints right now.
Okay. So yeah, the there's a couple events that I know of out there. I know MadCon gets money for cystic fibrosis. There's probably a good bit of paranormal cons out there, but the only one that we've attended so far is the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. And okay, compressor. I'm sorry, I'm setting up audio as we do this. And it's, what do you think? What do you think? Compared to last year, the second annual one, do you think this one was better, and why?
Me?
Anybody?
I definitely think it was better than last year. Last year was good. Don't get me wrong, but this year they really, each year you have an event like that, and it seems to, if it's good, it seems to be more successful every year, and it definitely got better this year. More vendors, more people came in. It was just, I definitely think it was a lot better than last year.
Yeah, Jessica, I don't use Wi-Fi to stream.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's my internet. I'm hard cable, using hard cable straight into my service. I wouldn't dare use Wi-Fi to live stream. That would not be a good idea. So, it definitely felt like it was more foot traffic to me. But they had some issues, and I don't know why. Maybe Pam and Steve will kind of, I know they addressed a little bit of issues early on, but it seemed like after the early issues, it wasn't bad. But one thing I will address right now as I'm thinking of it is we were going out to eat, and people were asking us if we were part of a paranormal group because of our t-shirts. And we're like, yeah, we're attending the Battlefield Bash over at the Wyndham Hotel. They didn't know anything about it. And this seems to be a repeating theme in the towns we go where there's paracons, and especially to the paranormal community locally. I mean, the paranormal community in Gettysburg is probably the biggest out of anywhere you could go in the U.S. And if you know of one bigger, let me know in the comments. But if the people in the town don't know you're having an event, you did something wrong. If you live in the town that you're having the event and people still don't know you're having the event, you did something not as well as you could have. What do you guys think about that?
I think you're right.
Now, what was it do you think that they didn't do? Obviously, we'd have to speculate because we don't know what they did and did not do.
Now, I don't know. I don't know if it was, not advertising as much as they should. I'm sure that they advertised as much as they thought they should have, but maybe it wasn't enough. Maybe they didn't reach out far enough. Maybe they reached out in like a radial area of a so many mile radius with their advertising and really didn't pinpoint into town. I mean, I was telling you on the way back to home that I had an older couple stop me in the back parking lot of the building when I went to the truck to get my Nikon, and they pulled up and they rolled down the window and they were like, "Excuse me, what's going on here? Why they got the parking lot shut off back here? Is there something going on?" And I explained to them what was going on, and they were like, "Oh, so is it over?" And I was like, "No, they stopped me on Sunday," and I told them, I said, "This is the last day. It runs noon to 5." And they were like, "Oh, well, we won't be back in town in time to come back and check it out." So even they didn't know, and they were driving through the hotel parking lot and had no idea that there was an event, which personally, I find that kind of hard to believe, because when you drive into that parking lot, there's stuff everywhere. I mean, you see stuff out front, stuff in the back, something's going on.
Well, there was one vinyl sign out front.
Yes.
And it was kind of like off the side from where you pull in.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think it's fair to judge? I mean, I don't want to sound like it's an unfair judgment to say, since we ran into people that didn't know about it. Do you think that's fair to judge by the people that we've gotten feedback from? There was 2 people, one from the restaurant beside Farnsworth, and then the people that were in the very parking lot where the event was being held. Like, they were staying there, right?
I don't know if they were staying at the hotel or if they were just passing through the parking lot, because for some reason they may have been staying at the hotel.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if we can really throw any shade at what they did. I mean, they've done a great job the last 2 years that we've been there. I don't know. I think a lot of their monetary intake to promote this is not what people would perceive they get. I think a lot of the stuff that they're doing all this stuff on donations. So it's kind of hard to really expand on your promotional stuff, buy billboards, buy bigger signage, stuff all over town without having enough people to donate the money to do that.
So you're saying that they're just limited by their budget for advertising?
I believe so.
I don't. Maybe they can't. Maybe they can't hang signs in town. Maybe they have some kind of ordinance or against that or something. But you're not going to target everybody, and you constantly have people coming through there. So maybe we just happen to run into those people that didn't know about it because maybe they're not into the paranormal and they didn't see it on social media, obviously, and maybe they just weren't informed. Maybe they're just passing through. So
I also think the advertising on Facebook was really good. I mean, almost every day I seen something on Facebook. So, I mean, there's going to be some that's going to go through the cracks, so to speak.
Well, I have to agree with that. The social media, as far as people that were all the paranormal vendors that were attending the event, all the people that were just going to the event to attend it, they were all talking about it. So word of mouth was really good. I thought they couldn't do it better. But how in the heck are they going to get it out to the people at Gettysburg that are interested in that stuff? They might want to. I just want to leave it as constructive feedback to where they could potentially get more foot traffic through there. I don't want to, make it sound like we're ragging on them, because it was definitely way, way more foot traffic than last year. And I would just assume that it would get better and more well known each year it comes out. But
I think if they would be able to advertise it in town, I mean, there would be tons of people that would see that. But a lot of those people probably aren't locals and they're passing through, so they may not be. As long as it's there during the weekend or that whole week, and then into the weekend, I think that might help a little bit.
Melissa Grubb says they can't hear Josh now.
No, Bill said he could hear him just fine. So it's just Melissa.
Huh.
It's not anyone else. But Melissa couldn't see him before, and we all could.
Interesting. Okay.
Because she said, "What the actual hell?"
Aww.
Yeah, I mean, I think the event went really, really well.
See, she can hear
There's
Josh.
a ton of there's a ton of traffic that comes through the town, just like Josh was saying. So you got to think, like the lady that pulled us to the side at Farnsworth House and was talking to Missy about being there and was like, "Oh, are you guys here to investigate?" And when we explained to them why we were there, who's to say that they didn't just roll into town that day because they were there strictly to investigate? So, they came there for a purpose. They weren't looking for the other stuff going around in town. They were there for a purpose. I would find it hard to believe that any of the businesses in town would let them advertise, because that would take advertising away from the businesses, because the businesses advertise everywhere.
Gilson said they promoted it in the newspaper, but not a lot of people are using the newspaper.
And he also
That's
mentioned that they may not have support from the other paranormal stores.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and do some shout outs for the people that's been here, through the technical difficulty. Usually a lot of people, when they see people struggling on shows, will just stop watching. So let's go ahead and do some shout outs.
You want me to go first?
Sure.
I have Bill Davis. I have Melissa Grubbs. I have Dan. I have Wes Storms. I have Amanda Thompson. I have Heather Elliott. I have Sandy Griffith. I have Gilson, Holly, Anthony, Zach, Bender, Valerie Wright, Nelson, Sean, Anthony. I ain't even gonna say it.
Gross House, I think, is the way you pronounce his
Liz
last name.
Coy, Daniel Everson, and Becky Compton.
Yeah, it's saying we have 20 viewers on Facebook right now, so that's a lot of people. Maybe not of them's commented.
And Jenny Barth, or however you say that,
Jenny
just jumped on.
Barth?
It's challenging to read some of these names, I know.
It
I
is.
know.
It very,
If we
very
butcher
well
your name, we're sorry. What's going on YouTube? Can you see that, Jess?
Yes, Sam Thomas, Betty, Melissa from the Anchorage, John Cool, Queen City Cryptic Researchers, Tim Field, Marilyn, Joe, Lime Lit Girl.
Awesome, guys. Thanks so much for joining us. We really, really appreciate it. Feel free to share, and let's chat it up. I guess the main takeaway from the bash not only is the foundations, and Derek had messaged me and said the Heroes for Hire children's charity was there. The guy that is the only full-time Batman in the U.S., maybe even the world. I think he said the world during his speech. That anybody knows of was there. He's there. He's been there for each one, and the Wounded Warriors, they get money from the proceeds from that event, and so does the children's charity. So that should be the highlight of the event. But there's also value in meeting people in real life. I felt like the people that I only get to see, like John Cool, members from EPS, there's a lot of people we don't ever get to see until the bash. So when we get to see them, it's almost like a reunion. It is a reunion, right? So that right there, there's really no words to say that does it justice to me. It really feels like the so-called paranormal unity is very much alive there, and I'm just gonna go say it. You know, Para Unity is definitely alive at the Battlefield Bash, and it's alive elsewhere. What did you guys think about that? I did meet some people for the first time there, which was awesome too. Did you guys want to talk about anybody that you met or was, you know, that you've seen before but met again? You want me to flip a
really
coin?
Didn't.
All right.
Yep. We kind of had this conversation yesterday when we got back. The little bit that we talked in between, doing other stuff and sleeping. But yeah, I met a couple people. I met John Cool, which I hadn't met him yet. We got together with some of the old acquaintances from before. I met Melissa briefly when she came over. Now, I went up and introduced myself because I didn't get a chance to when she first showed up. But I really didn't go out and try to meet a whole lot of the people. Like Miss and Jess, they met a ton of people. And, I just kind of stayed at the table just because I didn't want to get mingled up in the crowd and with everything going on. I don't know. Since I hurt myself, I get freaked out in the crowd. So I just kind of sit there and, I'll just stay where I'm at.
You get freaked out in the crowd?
Oh yeah, I get all nervous.
He doesn't want anyone to hit his elbow.
I just don't. I don't want to bump into nobody or have nothing bump into me, and it's like, whew.
I forgot about that. That's gonna suck to be dealing with that.
It's getting better.
Anthony's on here. He still can't wait for his lights. Josh, are you working on his light right now?
Yeah, do it now.
No, I told him he should have it within 2 months. He's asking about a hat, so I have to get some more hats made. I only have one left. So,
what about you, Missy? Did you get to see anybody first time? I know we met Melissa Grubbs.
We met Melissa Grubbs. I got to meet Heather Larson. There were a couple other people there that I didn't know. I'm friends with them on Facebook, but I didn't know what they look like from their tiny little picture, and I just passed them up.
Yeah, sometimes you will see people that you interact all the time with on Facebook, but you don't recognize them in real life. That's
right.
Weird. Jess and Josh, any highlight to people?
I think just everybody that is in for that event, I just feel like they're family. You can go and say hi and nobody snubs you or anything that I felt. And I know Missy felt the same way. But you could just walk up to anybody, be like, hey, let's take a selfie. And, they were open to it. And I think it was pretty cool. Like what Derek was saying, John came up and he kind of freaked me out for a second because he's like, hey, Jessica. And I was like, who are you? And then, people coming up and say that they watched the videos and they're like, I've seen you in videos and you're still trying to figure out who they are. But it was very, I love it. I love the whole atmosphere of Gettysburg. Just even, with the event and outside of the event, it's just a different dynamic than, day-to-day life.
Awesome. Josh?
For me, we got to see EPS again and Twisted Paranormal.
Gateway just joined.
We also got to talk to, customers of Deadlight and customers that had ordered and are waiting for their lights, and then even took some other orders and just people, like Anthony, he stopped by and I got to meet him, and it was really cool to meet the people that I speak to, about the lights and make them for them. So it was really cool just to meet everybody. John Harris, there was another John too that stopped by, and it just a lot of people really interested in our booth. It was really, really cool.
How many breaks did you have out there during the day?
How many what?
Breaks.
Few.
Josh was pretty busy.
Yeah, Deadlight was definitely something that everybody should, be interested in. Having the best infrared light out there is a big deal. There's really no competition or egos that are tied up with that. It can benefit everybody. Of course, there's, not everybody there is going to come up to your booth, and just, say, greet you with open arms. There's going to be egos involved, and that's just reality. But for the most part, people were there to meet other people. So with that being said, Deadlight was something that everybody there, from the high, not everybody came, like Justin Perry and Scott Porter didn't come over and, drool over Deadlights, but that's not what they're there for. Everybody else pretty much did. Derek's truck got a lot of, double takes, and there's a lot of people that came over and looked at the remote data acquisition device that he built and we use.
The guy in the Walmart parking lot was interested in Deadlights.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
That was hilarious.
Yep, they were they were customers of mine that had bought a light a while back and just loved it. So they stopped over a couple times actually and were talking to me. So that was really cool. And Justin Perry and Scott Porter stopped over last year at the booth, and I got to talk to them. So that was really cool.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Gateway Edwards.
Sorry.
Gateway Paranormal and Heath Edwards joined.
I saw that. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Johnson on.
We just had Brandon Johnson jump on Facebook.
Hope your father's okay, Brandon.
Oh, what happened to his dad?
I think he got rushed to the hospital. And correct me if I'm wrong, Brandon. I was seeing many posts last night and this morning. I think they were thinking that he was possibly he had a heart attack.
Oh no!
I haven't seen an update if there has been one posted. If I'm wrong, I apologize.
Yeah, I hope he's okay.
Anthony Grouthouse said we had the best booth there, and he drooled.
Over Justin, not Deadlight. Over Justin.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Oh, so Anthony's the guy from Nelson's group.
Yes.
That we met, because he said he hit us up on Facebook and said you got to meet one of our members that are there. And I was trying to figure it out. That's who it is.
I believe that was somebody different. That was Nicholas, I believe. Anthony, I'm scrolling up to get his group.
Anthony, our dad is the remote truck, the RC truck that you've seen with all the meters and recorders and stuff on it. It was really hard to miss on our table. It was right next to Josh's lights. That's what we're talking about.
Tom Palagruto just joined too, so that puts us, we're like 21, 22 viewers on Facebook.
Yeah, it's bouncing around. We're getting a lot of people joining in. I kind of assumed that we would, because we just got done, doing the whole Unity thing. So everybody's, reflecting on Gettysburg, and everybody's curious about, what we thought of Gettysburg and our overall thoughts, which is pretty typical.
Anthony was the guy that had the little girl with him.
Mm-hmm.
His daughter.
Gotcha. Yeah, he was cool. He was really cool.
Gilson says, I think it would be cool for you to do a show there at Gettysburg. I wanted to do some stuff, but since I do a lot of stuff, I was wanting to take a break while I was there. It was almost like a little mini vacation. I probably spend 16 to 18 hours a day on a computer, and excluding maybe a weekend or a day out of the weekend. So I was really focusing on trying not to do a whole lot of live streaming there. And I know Paratalk Radio was there doing that, doing their thing. So I went on Paratalk Radio and, talked to them for a while, which Cindy was really cool. I actually
Hold on a second. Brandon Johnson said, "Thanks, guys. Turns out he did not have a heart attack, just really bad chest pains. And thank you for all the kind words."
All right. Yeah, that's awesome. So I got to talk to Cindy over there at Parrot Talk Radio. Really nice lady. I never got a chance to talk to her when I watch her show. I never realized how cool she was. So that was an awesome opportunity I got to do. And I'm really glad that they came by the booth and had me on for about 30 minutes. But go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say that our main goal was photography and meeting people and trying to, just make it worth our while financially, because, we spend a lot of money going to these events, and a lot of money sunk into the merchandise, a lot of money sunk in to the film production that we did, and that didn't go as great, but Deadlight probably benefited from the most of that. I know Deadlight's doing good. It's probably doing better than Josh can keep up with, but we just released another episode. It's available on YouTube, and it's also available on Blu-ray. And if you guys like Interface Death and you want to support us, that is a really good way to do it. You can go to our website and YouTube and check that stuff out, and that would greatly help us. But I just think that there is a niche for some of the stuff that we had. What do you guys think about that? Do you guys think that the merchandise we had was, thought out? Do you think it, was targeted for the people that come in there, or do you think it was kind of hit or miss?
I think the metaphysical stuff was definitely targeted for the people there, because there were other tables that had similar items, and I think it should have been more popular than what it was. I don't think it was a location issue either, because everybody seemed to walk around. But no, Anthony said he's part of Quad State Paranormal.
Okay.
Cindy was blown away by you.
Yeah, Cindy was pretty cool. What makes you think she was blown away, though?
Tammy Petty just told me she was blown away by you. She just said it in the chat.
Oh, well, I noticed that she liked me. She gave me a hug afterward. Maybe that's something she does to every guest.
And Gilson said he was telling people about Interface Death, and he wants to go on an investigation with us.
He's going to have to come to our neck of the woods.
I think a lot of times when you get on other people's shows, they're blown away by how well spoken you are and how well educated you are on the topics that they throw at you, because they can damn near throw anything at you in the field, and even stuff that isn't related to the field of the paranormal, and you're spot on. Bam, got the answer, and you're no bones about it, and they really like that.
I think she was taken back. She was surprised about how the interview went. I don't think it was what she expected. I think that she liked the fact that I, embraced the spiritual journey that I had based on my life experience and my outlook, and my approach to it. Or not, because we talked about art, we talked about, what happened with my dad, what got me into the paranormal, and we talked about psychology, which interests her, obviously. And it wasn't your typical interview. And I think that, she got to talk about something very more, a lot more thought-provoking. That's what I got out of it.
Right.
Gilson said, I want to go on an investigation, on one of your investigations. And Sandy Griffiths said, wouldn't that be awesome? And then she also said she doesn't hug everyone, Justin.
She doesn't hug everybody. Just only the soft, squishy ones that she probably wants to hug.
That's funny. Yeah, you were talking about our merchandising and the way we were set up and all that, and how it the way we were set up. I thought we planned out well. A lot of the things that people were looking at were, and I noticed it at other booths. They would walk through, pick stuff up, look at it, see if it looked interesting, and then put it down and walk away. I think a lot of people come in there and they want to look, but people are drawn to the crystals and stuff like that. I know a lot of people were buying the sprays. Some of the stuff, to be honest with you, I think people would walk past our booth and maybe went to another booth that was selling similar stuff for a higher price, and probably paid the higher price because when they looked at our booth, maybe they were intimidated by the we had equipment, and then you had stuff for sale, then you had equipment, then you had stuff for sale. It's almost like a mental overload, because when they would stop at the table, they were like, "Ooh, look at the lights." Then they were like, "Ooh, look at that truck." Then
It
they're
was
like,
the lights first.
What's this stuff over here do? And then they're like, "Oh, what's this?" And they'd pick up a video. And then you'd explain it to them in a video, and they're like, "But I can't get over those lights, or the truck, or this gizmo right here." And they'd put the video down, and then they'd take a card and walk off. So when it comes to the way we're setting everything up, it's a work in progress. We're going to have to find the best fit for each event, because I think each event's going to be different.
Joe Vitale, you motherfucker. That was funny. For all of you that are wanting to investigate with Interface Death, a little overrated, they just want to listen to Nickelback. Of course, I'm joking.
Real quick, Gateway says, "Love your pictures, Justin." He saw them on Instagram, and he wanted to know when you're growing your beard out.
You're gonna have to convince Christy, my wife, to grow my beard out like like a real man should. But I don't know. It's gonna have to be that would be a life-changing thing. I've had a goatee when I was younger. I've never had a full beard. Something you would classify as a beard.
Joe Vitale best not give us too much grief, because I can rescind the offer and he'll have no place to stay.
No, we need him too bad. He can shit talk all he wants.
Read it. Here's a comment for you.
Can you look at the Paranormal Reporter's comment and rate it for me out loud?
Why? That's your job.
He's talking about a dick brush.
Is it
the dick brush?
I don't see it.
I didn't want to say it.
Oh.
It's right underneath Sandy's "Everything I Saw Was Awesome," and then that's even better. Sandy said everything she saw was awesome, and then Paranormal Reporter said the dick brush. That played out well.
The dick
Gateway
brush.
Paranormal says, "I can't deal with Nickelback, but it makes sense for Justin. Look at this photograph."
Man, that was one of the big reasons why we got to do Little Round Top of Sunset, and we had perfect conditions. It did not rain. It was awesome the whole entire time. We could have took a lot more photos, but I think all of us got good photos. Josh wanted to punt his new Nikon he got, but he's just going to have to be patient.
Spike it like opening weekend of the NFL.
I knew it was operator error. Justin and Derek were using the same exact camera, and they were getting good pictures, and I was not.
Well, you want to see somebody come unglued, ride home through the mountains of West Virginia with Justin Brown going through Instagram, and him finding a money shot on Instagram that he should have known to get.
Did you see that,
from
Josh?
Little Big Round Top?
Did you fucking see it?
Hostile.
No.
It's
all right.
through the doorway of that big old monument.
You know that tower, that castle tower?
Yeah.
She used the opening to get into that as a frame for the fucking sunset.
And then did a silhouette.
And you took a picture of two people you didn't know.
Hey, that was the best shot I got all weekend.
That was a good shot.
I know, but I don't know why you didn't stop them right then and there.
Because I'm a dick. I don't know why I didn't do it. That would
Like-
it would have been made sense because
three of us trying to find them. Like, hey, we'll get their email.
because
you can send
yeah,
it to
I
them.
probably could have sold them an 8x10 for $10. Then they would have loved it. They would probably have cherished it. But I didn't say anything. I'm going to have an assistant with me.
Disappointed in you.
But if you want to check out our photography that we took, I posted some on Interface Death on Instagram and some of the stuff on my Justin Brown Photography Instagram. You'll definitely want to check out Josh Bender's Instagram. It's jbender80, I think.
Yeah, that's French.
On Instagram. Is that right, Josh? jbender80. When he gets to post them, sometimes it takes him a while. I'm sure he got fed up, and the shots that he got on his phone was good.
Yeah, we just had a gentleman jump on. I didn't get his last name, but his first name it's Nicholas Plavert.
I'm translating it now.
I was going to say he wrote it in French.
Okay, hold on.
Phil, because Justin uses auto settings on his Nikon.
Oh,
Phil, no.
Yeah, right.
Phil, I use manual settings. Josh was using manual settings, and it was pretty comical watching Josh try to adjust everything with two hands, and me adjust everything with one hand and yelling at cameras.
Nicholas says, I am a paranormal investigator for 6 years. I am looking to go to the USA for investigation, and I'm trying to find a foothold for lack of funding. So if you understand what I'm saying, Nicholas, we understand why it would be out of your budget to travel to the US. But there should be places where you're at. Yeah, when you do sunset photography, you can't do it in auto. You will not expose it right, and you pretty much got to shoot in RAW, so you can expose for the sky and bring out the shadows if you need to. We won't turn this show into a photography class because people would not watch it. But it was pretty cool. Do you want to shift into the conversation about what we experienced at the cabin?
Sure.
I don't want to forget about that.
I didn't have any experiences in the cabin.
First to experience it.
You heard footsteps, Josh. You heard footsteps.
Did.
We all heard footsteps, but
Nobody sat on my bed though.
Yeah, the footsteps was kind of that was a reoccurring occurrence every night. It seemed like every night we had the same footstep experience straight up the walkway towards the cabin. But like the one night we had the footsteps around the side of the cabin. And then the night when all hell broke loose.
It's supposed to be haunted. Well, Gettysburg is haunted, as we all assume and know. And Jess brought up claims that the KOA we're staying at is haunted. So we were making jokes like, man, I wish this KOA was haunted so we could like hunt ghosts as we were sitting here in our cabin. And probably an hour or so later, we started getting stuff. That absolute footsteps. These weren't like, oh, I thought those were footsteps. At some points they were like 5 feet away from us. And one night, this is going to make Jess laugh again. We're laying down to go to bed. I'm sleeping on an air mattress out in the living room because we had a five sleeper. It has a master bedroom with a bunk above it that my fat ass couldn't get in. There's a bathroom and the shower and a toilet, and there's a living area with a kitchen and a futon that folds out into a full size bed. So I slept on an air mattress, and I'm trying to lay down. And I use a CPAP machine, so I'm fiddling with my mask to put it on in the dark. And as soon as I do that, something at least 100 pounds or more just sits right on the corner of my bed, plain as day. And I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't ready. So I'm like, what the fuck? Someone just sat on my bed. Never happened to me before. I hear about it all the time. So I jump up, turn on the light. I'm looking around to see what would have caused that. And there was nothing there. And of course, I'm excited about it. And Jess had, leaned out of her bunk and is like, hey, what kind of psychic are you? Don't you know who it is? And I'm like, it's your mom.
No. He had his hands on his hips. And it was your fucking mom. Like how he sounds in his head.
Pixar didn't happen, okay? Pixar didn't happen.
No,
It was great. Because you could actually hear the air mattress make a sound when right before Justin sat up, and we had just turned the lights out. It was pitch black, and you heard the noise, and all of a sudden he springs up and he's like, "What the fuck was that? Something just sat on the bed right here beside me, right here, and he's right here, and he's pointing around, and he's standing up and he's looking at Jess was like, "Well, Justin, who was it?" And he was like, "Your mom, your motherfucking mom." I mean, the excitement was fantastic. We were rolling. We laughed for a good hour.
Like a chicken, like
Yeah.
like pecking on the ground.
Right.
It was the funniest thing. I will never forget about that.
You laughed about that for the rest of the trip.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, it was hilarious.
Becky said they just wanted to snuggle with you, Justin.
That's
Well,
it.
what was the comment before? What did Justin say before?
Justin said he said he was gonna get naked. He said, I'm about to get naked on this air mattress because I'm hot. He said, it's freaking hot in here. And no sooner than he sat down, put that mask on, he was like, oh, I'm getting naked. And boom, something sat. And that was the night that we actually experienced the most amount of footsteps around the cabin, too.
Yeah, there was definitely someone walking around our cabin.
Hey, Missy, do you want to read Nicholas's and Nelson's comments there? Nelson is, I believe, from Canada, so he is talking to Nicholas in French.
Also, Janet Pennington has a question after that.
She's going to find it.
I don't see it.
Well, I'll translate Nicholas's. It should be contacted on Messenger with translation.
It says underneath all of them, it says see translation.
Okay.
When you hit reply, it says see translation.
Okay, so you should be doing this, right?
Well, they're just talking back and forth about. He said, so I don't know if he understands my question or if he is giving me if he's giving me shit.
Oh no, he's being nice.
Oh, no, I think he was talking about.
He's talking about you.
Yeah, I think he's talking about you.
Okay, I'm gonna try to comment back in
French.
Yeah, in French.
Okay.
Stand by. Someone talk while I do this.
Yeah,
Okay.
we could not find Janet Pennington's comment
Question. I
or
don't see
her
it.
question. It's not showing up on our feed.
Tim said it was him. He was trying to make you shit yourself.
It was Tim trying to make me shit myself.
That was the funniest thing I think Justin has ever done in front of me.
It was epic.
Like I couldn't stop laughing. Like I was so freaking tired, and as soon as it happened, I was wide awake. I was like,
To address Janet Pennington's question, there's only one place that we know of that's public in Gettysburg, and it's called the Sachs Bridge. Anybody can go to it and investigate. There's supposed to be a haunting. There's a story of a soldier being hung there because he wanted to leave his unit. And there's places all around Sachs Bridge where they set up camp. There's a lot of places you can go pay for an investigation, like Jenny Wade House. There's a cabin. There's the Lookout. What is it called that Pam and Steve owned? The Lookout.
The Lookout House.
The Lookout
Yeah,
House. There's probably at least 2 or 3 dozen places that sell investigations. So just go online and Google haunted places you can investigate in Gettysburg, and you'll get a shit ton of stuff come up.
Nicholas said, then I have to leave next year to U.S. for 1 week to investigate. But for lack of means, I try to see if there is possibility to find people for hosted.
So he's going to look for a paid investigation when he comes to the States for a week.
Maybe he was. I think he meant he was looking for somebody to stay with.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, that makes more sense.
Right. Nelson also mentioned the Suicide Bridge. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was not as widely known.
Hmm.
That's why not very many people go out
Heather
there.
Elliott said the David Stewart farm is nice too. Investigate.
Is that open public, or do you have to book that? You don't. I mean, you can't investigate the battlefields, and we kind of have to explain why. Gil pretty much told us that somebody was out there metal detecting and digging around the battlefield sometime back, and when they busted them, they said, "Oh, we're part of a paranormal group and we're investigating." So I guess that stigmatized all paranormal groups out there that are trying to investigate the battlefields, and I guess you get a big fine because of that, based on what Gilson had said.
Sandy said Facebook is filtering a lot of comments. I'm not seeing the ones that are on Justin's screen. And Heather said you have to pay.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know why you're not seeing all of them on the feed, but you're seeing them on the screen. That's weird. At least you can see them, I guess.
John Cole said that there will be an event at the David Stewart Farm in October.
Nice. It's just if you're a little far away like we are, it's definitely worth the trip. I mean, if you have not been to Gettysburg, you need to go.
It's a nice vacation, weekend vacation.
Is Sachs Bridge the bridge they hung the soldier from for spying?
The story I remember.
Bridge.
Yeah, the story I remember, Sachs Bridge, they hung them for trying to leave.
Okay.
Trying to leave the war. I could be wrong, but that's what I remember. Gilson knows the story.
Scotty Fox has joined.
What's up, Scotty Fox? We're talking about Gettysburg, man. It was just freaking awesome. Let's see here. The food vendors were good at the bash. We had awesome weather. The cemetery is the Gettysburg National Cemetery is one of my favorite spots to go. Super calm and reflective place to be. A lot of those, it's unlike any cemetery I've ever been. Like there's a spot where there's just a mass grave of unknown people, like several hundred. And then they have all these little markers that just look like they're the size of pavers. Just lines of them with numbers. And you have to go over to this plaque and read whatever numbers goes with whoever's name. And it's freaking awesome. The way they have it makes it look beautiful. And everybody should definitely go check it out. There's probably a few hundred monuments there to go look at. It's really hard to look at everything. There's so many stores, little shops, museums, and just cool shit to look at in the historical downtown area of Gettysburg. I mean, you could be there for a week and not see everything. It's crazy. So if you're a lover of history, you definitely need to go. And every other sign on the street talks about ghosts. So if you're into ghosts, that's probably the place that you want to go. Probably the most haunted town in the U.S. What do you guys think?
We've been there twice, and there's so much more to see.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just there's a lot.
John Cole mentioned to go there during October during Remembrance Day. The activities through the roof.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the fall foliage would be awesome for photography.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Something I've never seen because I've always every time I've been there it's been in the summer. So.
I can bring up some of the photos
I think that should be a goal for us to achieve, is to go back even after doing the bash in the summer to get together and go back in the fall for another weekend or even a week and just shoot photos and tour and check stuff out, because the fall by far is going to be the best time. You'll get the best shots, and the sunset shots in the fall look so much better.
So here's some of the shots that I took. This is Little Round Top. Perfect weather for a sunset. It was so awesome while we were up there because, I'm kind of, getting everybody more and more interested in photography and learning the technicalities of photography, how to get certain shots. But we all help each other, all give ourselves an idea. Here's the one where I shot the couple, but didn't tell them that I got this really awesome shot of them at the sunset. I added this one to my portfolio yesterday. It's just such a good shot. I've always wanted to get a shot like that, and I was lucky enough to get one without even having to pose them. This was a completely candid shot, not even posed. I was just being super creepy behind them to get that. And it was just really awesome to this is probably one of the best sunset spots in the US is Little Round Top. Did you guys even did you look at any of your photos? Did you get any really good ones?
I did. When we were at the site of the Gettysburg Address, I got a couple of good ones of Lincoln.
Did you post
The
them?
Lincoln. No, I haven't yet.
I took some good ones with my phone.
The only one I posted is the one that I posted last night of Josh in front of the cannon.
Josh
I did
Friendly.
get a couple of the I forget what the monument is, but it's the one with the shiny nose because everybody rubs it for good luck. I forget what his name was, but I think I got some good ones of that with my real camera. Jess got a bunch of good ones too.
Yeah, I've been waiting to see Jess's.
We're not talking about it.
Why? What happened?
I'm having computer issues. I need a better computer, so when I upload my photos, it doesn't take me 15,000 years. I almost threw it and spiked it on the ground and shot it last night. I had a mental breakdown because of that effing laptop.
Here's the Gettysburg National Cemetery shots. Did you try putting them on your phone?
That's what she was trying to do. She was trying to transfer them to her.
Oh,
just my computer is very, very slow.
that sucks.
Yeah, he told me I could use his, but I gave it another try today, and it still didn't work out for me. So that'll be tomorrow. But I've been having MS issues since we got back. So,
were you having issues at the bash? Were you having issues there?
what do you mean?
I think it was the large group of people. She had to walk out a couple times.
Well, yeah. I mean, but I was fine. Are you saying those kind of issues or MS issues?
Either.
Oh,
I didn't know.
There was a couple times that I went to the bathroom. I didn't have to go to the bathroom, but I just had to leave just for a little bit. But I think I did better than what I was thinking that I was going to do. But yeah, I'm having that.
She wrapped her up pretty tight on the way in.
I did what? Oh yeah, I did 4 times. I was like, 1, 2, 3.
Here's the shot Josh was trying to get on his Nikon and couldn't, so I got it on mine.
Yeah, thanks, Justin.
So if you want this photo, I can send it to you, buddy.
Send me the raw. I'll edit my way.
Okay.
I still have that picture for you to send to you.
Oh yeah, we gotta see that. See, here's these lines of pavers with numbers on them, and there's hundreds and hundreds of them out there, probably close to 1,000 of them. Here's Missy sitting on a bench. They have these awesome monuments at the cemetery that I really like photographing. They're really cool.
There's over 3,100 monuments on the battlefields.
3,100?
Yes.
We ain't
Jesus.
seen nowhere near half of them.
No.
I blame Josh.
We were too busy photographing cannons.
Brooke Diaz wants you to talk about Devil's Den.
What would you like us to talk about? That it's freaking awesome. It's pretty much Josh, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's where one of the bloodiest battles happened, right?
There was a large massacre there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the energy there. When I was there last year, I picked up on a feeling of, kind of like if you were in high school and someone said, "Hey, man, I'll meet you at the gas station or behind the school or whatever after school, and we're going to fight." And those butterflies you get in your stomach, and that nervousness that you feel, I felt the first time driving into Devil's Den. And that makes a lot of sense to me. There's a lot of people, the Union was dug in there. They knew that that's where they were going to make their stand, one of their stands. And I can only imagine how that would feel. It would feel very similar to knowing that you're going to get in a fight and just waiting until it happened. So, yeah, did anybody, Jess, did you have any reflection or opinions about your experience there?
Like I said earlier, it's just a lot of different feelings. Being at the cemetery, being at, where we took the sunset pictures, and I'm drawing a blank on that. I knew, and I think everybody can vouch and agree, like I would be happy one moment and the next minute I was like a nutcase. And I knew like it wasn't me, so to speak, but it was like the little triggers then I would like launch off. It was different feelings. Almost every step you took, it was almost a different feeling that you knew it wasn't you.
Do you feel like any of them was like energy from the past or spiritual?
Oh, absolutely.
It all was.
Yeah.
It was like one minute you were determined, and the next minute you were like impending doom, and
Yeah. It was heavy. It was heavy at times, and then it was soft at times, but it was, and I don't know how to explain it well. It's just, I don't know, when you're empath and you start picking up on shit, and you're, it's a lot.
If you have abilities, you want to go there to see what you pick up. Do not go to the peak of tourist season. That's not the best time. Go when it's like low population going through there.
Bill Davis said, "Is this a vacation slideshow where you don't have to invite us over for food?"
Yes, it is. Welcome.
I think everybody should experience Gettysburg. Walk through town, drive through the battlefields, go to the museum. Just the feeling you get when you're standing in the spot where Abraham Lincoln gave the Gettysburg Address. Different areas like that, and you can get. I mean, it's different energies, different emotions wherever you go. Like whether you're standing where he gave the Gettysburg Address, or walking through the cemetery, or walking through town where you know that the battles were, and where they said that the streets ran like rivers of blood, and any building that was there that they could get in and use as a hospital just for amputating, and just all kinds of body parts outside, and just being thrown outside, and the screams, and it was, you can just imagine what it was like during that battle. So there's a lot of different feelings you can get through, just even walking through the museum and looking at the artifacts and reading the stories. And there's so many stories. I mean, you just can't see everything in just a few days.
We have to share Missy's photo. This is the one where he's looking at the tree, like he wants to eat broccoli. He's like, I like my broccoli.
Gettysburg is one of them places that you go to, and if you're anything into American history or history in general, or you're anything into, what made the country the way it is, every site you go to, you step back and you visualize what it looked like then versus what you're looking at now. Because what you're looking at now, there's a lot of the stuff there is what was there originally, but you have to kind of step back out of the now and look at what it was like back then when everything was going on, and to visualize that from the exact location that it happened or that an event took place is just, it's phenomenal, because you stand there and you just soak it in and you're like, whoa. I mean, it will take your breath away to see what's there.
I can't disagree with that. Do we have any other takeaways, or did I not address anything? We're losing a lot of viewer retention now. It's about an hour and 12 minutes. I don't know if we exhausted our attention span of our viewers or not. But is there anything else before we wrap it up?
I don't think so.
Me and Chrissy are really, I'm pretty much making her go next year because I don't like spending that much time away from my family. I don't want them to have to stay at home where I'm off having fun and stuff. So I can't wait till next year. I get to take Christy and the kids. It's really good place for kids. Super good.
Sandy said she wants to see Josh's new tattoo.
Oh, I forgot about that. We got to show the new tattoos.
It's going to be upside down, but this is probably the best way I can do it. Oh, not that one. Oh, no, I can't do it.
Rip your arm off.
I'll send her a picture.
Well, here, stand right here.
I can't turn it. No, it's okay. I'll send her a picture.
Did you take the protective stuff off of it yet?
I did because, being at work and sweating and my work gloves rubbing that plastic stuff. I ended up having to take it off yesterday. But it's peeling.
I took mine off tonight.
Yeah, it's really not really good looking right now.
When did you take yours off, Missy?
Tonight.
I did mine earlier. Yeah, I did mine earlier.
The edges started peeling. The corners started peeling up on it yesterday, and she was like, "Man, I got to make this last." Well, then today it peeled up really bad, and she was like, "I'll just take it off."
I started picking at it because it was peeling up so bad that I just ripped it off.
Well, Missy, you can show us yours, right?
Yeah. Derek's next because I know he loves needles.
It's a dream catcher that the D is half of the dream catcher. And Jess, you can show yours, I guess. Hers is a compass.
Yeah, I gotta go like that, but
do you want to explain that?
My stepfather passed, as everybody knows, he passed away in December. And he was always like my GPS, no matter where I was at, what state or anything. He always knew how to get me home. And so it's one of those meanings. Obviously, the Black Crow had a meaning. They did mess up on my tattoo. How she printed it off to transfer it onto my arm. It was up. How was it? It was upside down and flipped.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when the W was actually where the East was supposed to go, but I started reading her, which she knew she had to put an E where the W was, but I think I might have messed her up because I started actually reading her, and but anyways, it was a messed up. So we ended up putting two more birds, and I actually like it better than what it was before. But in a way, I feel like that's my stepfather. Like, why in the hell are you getting a tattoo for me? If you're going to get one, we're going to screw it up. So, I mean, I wasn't upset about it or anything, but I like it better now than what it was.
That's good. So Derek didn't get tattoos because he don't like noodles, and I didn't get a tattoo because I'm a broke motherfucker.
Josh is running out of canvas.
No, I got plenty left.
I already have mine picked out for next year.
Josh has got top of that head left.
No, Derek. Yeah.
Get a big brain tattooed up there.
That's good.
That would look rad, dude.
It would.
Oh my gosh. Okay, our connection's losing, dropping.
You're breaking up.
I can hear you guys just fine.
I want to just let you know, nobody got hit. Oh, no, Justin did get hit a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I got
Nobody
punched.
got bruised.
I got punched.
I didn't slice anybody's throat. Missy was wanting to borrow my knife for Justin on the way home, but I guess we were pretty good.
The drive home was really, really good.
The drive home was better than I thought it would be because he took a nap in the first part and then he was good the rest of the time.
I love when we talk about him that he's not here. Like, he was good. He was.
It was actually. It was nowhere near as bad as I thought drive-wise because, half of it was during the sunset. The other half was in pitch black darkness. That was the worst part.
Sure.
I mean, we made it all the way to. I pulled off at the exit to work, which is like 30 minutes from the house, and had to stop and make her take over. So it was over 9 hours that I drove before I had to stop and have her take over.
We stopped at Sheetz to pee and to get gas. And he had parked the car too close to the pump, so I couldn't get in the car. I could get in the front seat, but I couldn't get in the back. And I got in the front driver's seat, and Justin's like, "You're not driving, are you?"
I was scared.
No, I'm moving the car.
I was
He
terrified.
was freaked out.
Yeah, we stopped. Hell, we stopped and took pictures on the way home. It was an enjoyable trip all the way around. Just hanging.
Sandy, I sent you a friend request that I sent you a picture of.
You're not
my
friends
tattoo.
with Sandy?
I guess I sent her a friend request though.
Oh my goodness.
Sandy's like our number one of our top fans.
I know who she is. I read everybody's comment.
Thanks, Tim. Enjoyed it, Justin, and all you guys. See you next time. Good night, guys. Yeah, we're going to wrap it up there. Thanks for everybody taking the time in the group to come on here and kind of reflect. It was a freaking awesome time. Can't wait to do it again. Next weekend, we got to go out on the road and go back to West Virginia for Moundsville. That should be exciting. We get to meet up with Joe Vitale and film some more shit. Any last words before I wrap it up?
Everybody needs to go to Gettysburg.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
If
we said
not
that.
for vacation, they need to go and attend the Battlefield Bash next year, at least for the support.
There was 2 times where I felt Gettysburg boiling into my blood. The first time was when they played taps out at a little round top during the sunset. That's just the shit. And to hear Batman talk about his cause and his mission gives you goosebumps.
Yeah.
Like the man has so much energy pouring out of him about what he does. Like it's legit, guys. So
he's a super cool dude.
Yes, Battlefield Bash, good cause, good event. Go check it out. Next year we'll be promoting the crap out of it again. Thanks for joining us, everybody. The Necromancer live show, we got David Childers coming up August 7th, and I believe we have let's take a look here. In August 21st, we have Vicky Burnett. So we're going to do Necromancer twice a month. So if you're wondering where that is on Wednesdays, we're going to spread it out because it's a 2-hour show, and I'm still up to my neck in editing. But thank you guys very much for joining us. We love you all very much. We appreciate all your support. And to all of you guys watching that, if we met you in Gettysburg Battlefield Bash, thank you very much for being who you are. We really appreciate the support, love, and kindness we get from everybody at those events. And if you ever want to meet Interface Death, Gettysburg is definitely one of the places you should go to do that. So if you guys are first-time viewers, if you guys want to watch the video promotions at the end of the show, go ahead and do that. But real quick, we'll do the plugs here. Interfacedeath.net or .com is the place to check out all of our paranormal research on our website. It's all there. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. We're on YouTube. You can check out patreon.com/support Interface Death to support the paranormal research that we do, the video promotions, the live streams, everything. Time, money, and energy is sunk into that. So people like Clay Borman, Katie Turner, R.J. Murphy, Scotty Fox, Casey Schreiner, Jessica Bias, Paranormal Reporter, Joe Vitale, Heather Elliott, Cherry Capital Shadow Seekers, The Ghost Guild, Kelly McConkey, Tony Felosi, and General 7. Thank you very much. Please extend your thanks to them. They make this content free for you all. And if you want to find out how you can support us through Patreon and get rewarded, check out the link in the video description. And that's where I leave it. You guys have a good night. Stay tuned for the next episode of Necromancer. We'll have another Paranormal Soapbox Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Same bad time, same bad channel. You guys have a good one. I'll see you next time. Do you have that drive? That morbid curiosity to explore the darkness? Do you have what it takes to brave the night? You do? Good.
Dead light. For those who aren't afraid to see what lurks in the night.
Walk out of your cell. I'd like to see you. What the fuck was that?
In every old building, a story lays dormant, yearning to be told. This is our calling.
I don't know why in this room I'm hearing the train.
I just heard something.
It feels like it's train non-stop. I don't know why. lot of chaos a few times. A lot of hectic and a lot of energies all at once. Feels like there's an older gentleman, like he's almost angry.
So we walked out to the side of the house and we both felt like something was watching us. So at the same time, we turn and we look up at the tower and we see a man standing there. He was an older gentleman and he had, you know, like his cheeks were kind of hanging down and his gray hair was swept back and he had a maroon dressing gown on.
I do believe that I have some sort of ability, or genuinely I could be in this house all day, all night without any complaints whatsoever. It's just that comfortable. A lot of people think just because it's haunted and just because it has paranormal activity that automatically you're supposed to run screaming for the hills, but in this place it just feels like home.
I heard footsteps. 5-degree increase.
It walked away. It's behind you.